And I've asked Jon Lam to come up and share a testimonial today about why this church is important. So, Jon.
Morning.
Morning.
So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jon Lam. I've been here at Christ Church since 2017. So the Episcopal Church has always been extremely important and integral to me. My dad is an Episcopal priest, now retired from the Diocese of Long Island in Brooklyn. My sister is an Anglican priest in Canada. So it's been something that I've been brought up with, I grew up with. So when me and my husband, or now husband, then fiance, Stephen came to Westchester in 2016, it was extremely important that we find a church that we could become integrated in, that we could get married in, that we could raise our kids in. And so as an interracial same-sex couple, that's not always easy to find. And so we shopped around for quite a bit, went to a lot of weird churches, had a lot of bizarre, sort of not great interactions with people. And then we ran across the website to Christ Church. And when we were looking at the section on marriage, it was such a subtle but such a powerful image that there was just a photo of a same-sex marriage for Melanie and Evelyn. And it was such a beautiful, quiet way of just showing that, hey, you know what? If you come to this church, you'll be part of the community. You're not going to stick out. You're not going to be some person on the margins or anything. You're going to be integrated. You're going to be part of this community. And so we came, and we loved it. And we stayed. We got married here in 2019. I'm looking at my husband because I always forget when we actually got married. And we slowly became more and more integrated in the church. Altar Guild, the search committee, subdeaconing, all this sort of stuff. And so I was thinking of what to share with you guys about what I find really beautiful and important about the church. And there's a lot of stuff, and I think that you're going to hear this from a million people, and you probably have already heard before. Beautiful space, beautiful music, beautiful liturgy, et cetera, and all those are very true. But what I want to share with you is just, and what has really touched my heart, is this sort of really interesting mix of formality as well as joy that I find whenever I come here. So I think it's very evident that we take liturgy very seriously here. Anyone who has talked to Herschel at all, you guys know there's a lot of intentionality behind everything that we do here. The incense that we pick, all the motions that we do, everything that is structured here, there is intentionality and purpose. But rather than leading to an environment that feels sort of stodgy or stiff, there is this permeating sense of joy that just comes through every time. There's just an acceptance to, hey, you know what, some things happen, and there's going to be a little bit of chaos every once in a while. There'll be children running about. We'll all stand up at the wrong point. Maybe there'll be like a hymn that's printed incorrectly in one thing. Maybe, I'll just pick an example completely randomly. Maybe Mother Brown will just come down and tell you that you're doing prayers of the people 5 minutes before the service, things like that. So it's just sort of this really wonderful mix of both structure, formality, but just joy and comfort that just has made me feel so welcome here. And then I think it's also, maybe part of this is a good sort of example of thinking about, there's just so much humanity here, and there's an acceptance that, sometimes we're not always doing the right thing. We're always trying, though. There's an intentionality to move forward. And I think as part of the search committee, that was very clear from talking to people here. We understand that there's a lot of beautiful and wonderful things here, but there's a drive to be better. There's a drive to change and drive to move forward. And that's another thing that has made me just feel so blessed to be part of this community, because it's not a community that wants to stay stagnant. It's not a community that wants to sort of sit here and never change, but it's a community that wants to be better, to outreach better, to serve better. And that ultimately makes me just really excited to be part of this community. And so I look forward to just being here for many more years, raising kids here, getting to know more people, and I hope that my words touched you guys in some sort of way. Thank you very much.